What is up, guys? It's Pedro here, and today I'm making a video on the Redskins' top 5 free agent wide receiver targets with some draft targets in there too. So, wide receiver isn't a huge need for us, but it is a decent. We could use some help there. If you guys are new to the channel, subscribe for Redskins and NFL content. Let's try to get to 1,200 subscribers by the end of February. So, let's get into it. Like I said, not a huge need, but it would be good to get a compliment to Terry McLaurin. Not necessarily a superstar, but someone that can get us 500 yards at least a season. Because then we have that and Terry plus Steven Sims and maybe a draft pick. So let's get into it. Number 5, this class isn't that great. So number 5 is Alan Lazard. He had 477 yards last year, 3 touchdowns. Not a bad year. Played in 12 games. He did play with Aaron Rodgers, but he's 24 years old, has a bunch of potential, and we probably can get him for cheap, probably a few mil maybe. I don't know. He could be a product of great quarterbacking from Aaron Rodgers, but we don't know that. So, not huge on my list, but like I said, this class isn't very deep, but it would be a good cheap option for a very young player that has good potential. Number 4 would be Robbie Anderson. He is asking for a lot of money. That's why I have him at number 4. He is better than a couple players in front of him on my list, but he's 27. He had 779 yards last year and 5 touchdowns. So not in crazy numbers. He definitely wouldn't be number 1 receiver on our team, and he is going to ask for a lot of money. He probably could have had a little more yards last year, but he was playing with Darnold for most of the year. But for a few games, he played one game with Trevor Siemian, and then I think it was Luke Falk for 3 or 4 games, who was a third stringer who never played in the NFL before. So maybe inflate his stats a bit, 950 if Sam Darnold was playing. Still, I don't know if I'm trying to pay 10 mil for Robbie Anderson a year. So he's a he's if we can get him for a little cheaper, 8 mil-ish, then maybe but I don't know. He's a little more expensive and he has really good potential. He's a huge speed guy, but he's one of those guys. He did play 16 games last year, but you do question his health. He's such a skinny guy, so we'll see. Number 3 is Brashad Perriman. He's 26 years old, played with the Bucks last year, had 645 yards and 6 touchdowns, and he played with James Winston, who isn't bad. I mean, he's at least at getting yards. He had 5,000 yards. He just turns the ball over a lot. So, I mean, he was playing with the average quarterback, you'll say, but probably good for yards for receivers. He played 14 games, so pretty consistent, and had, I think, one of the most touchdowns out of this free agent class. So, and I don't think we'd get him for super cheap, but 6 mil a year maybe. I'm not good with the numbers, but I think around that would be a good price range. Like I said, he didn't have the best quarterback playing with him, so it's not like his numbers are inflated just because of that. And yeah, I think he could be a good option for us. And because, like, say this person, Brashad Perriman, wouldn't be like a crazy free agent wide receiver like who's really good, like Amari Cooper, who would overshadow Terry McLaurin. I don't want someone like that. I want someone who can consistently get 500 yards a year, 5 touchdowns, stay healthy, and Brashad Perriman can do that. So number 2 is AJ Green. So AJ Green did not play a single snap last year, but he is super proven. He's one of the better receivers in the NFL. He hasn't been really healthy the last few years, but when he has been healthy, he's been a beast. He is going to probably be expensive. I doubt he stays with Cincinnati. He is in the rebuilding mode, so I think he's probably going to get away from that. He is 32 though, so and he's probably going to ask for a lot of money. So I'm like kind of debating on him because if we get him, there's no point of drafting a receiver in the first, definitely the first and third round. Because yeah, if we get AJ Green, then there's no reason to. But if we get someone like Brashad Perriman, then maybe we can spend a third, fourth round pick on a receiver. So, but AJ Green would bring a great red zone threat. It's pretty fast too, and we would have a really, really good receiving core if we got AJ Green. It's going to be the money issue and also the age and his health. So it's kind of iffy on this one. I would go either way. Like obviously, I wouldn't be mad if we didn't sign him, and if we signed him, I would be pretty okay with it. Not too excited, but I mean, knowing me, I would probably get excited once we sign him. But it's not gonna be. We won't be able to depend on him too much. At least just given off last couple years, he's been pretty injured. So we'll see. I'm gonna look up his stats right now. I know he's been struggling with injuries. This year he didn't play at all, but so 2018, 694 yards, definitely struggled with injuries last year, or that year. 1,000 yards, 964, 1,300, 1,000. So really good. I mean, he's amazing. Just, it looks like he's starting to get out of his prime a little. So if we get him, I'm thinking a few year deal, but he's probably going to want more. So I don't know if we're going to be able to pay him. And number one on my list, not going to be a flashy pick, but he's going to get the job done. He's been consistent for the last 10 years ish. Not 10 years, but like 7, 8 years. His name's Randall Cobb. Had 828 yards last year, 3 touchdowns. And he's still he's not young, but he's not old too. He's in the middle, 30 years old, really healthy last year. And he's so reliable, and he can bring that veteran leadership to our team because we don't have a veteran wide receiver on our team. Paul Richardson is like 27, so he's not even that old, and he's not very accomplished. Randall Cobb played for Aaron Rodgers and was a great receiver, and he's still good. He's going to get you 600, 700 yards. Probably going to be 6 or 7 mils still, though. I would be really happy with this. And the reason I didn't put Amari Cooper as my number one, we know we're not getting him. I mean, if we do first of all, there's probably a 70% chance he stays with Dallas, and if not, he's probably going to go somewhere else. That's why I said, like, there's really no chance we get Amari, so that's why I didn't put him on this list. But Randall Cobb is going to bring consistency, veteran leadership, and he can play too. 800 yards, not bad at all. So that's my top 5. Not a huge, strong class, and not really, or free agent class, yeah, and not very important position, but it is a position that we could use a little help at. So that's why I'm not doing someone huge. And so my draft prospects that I like are KJ Hill from Ohio State and Van Jefferson. There's a few more, Pittman from USC, but KJ Hill, he had 636 yards last year, 10 touchdowns, one no, that's just one passing attempt. But he played really well last year. A little dip in production from the year before, but that's probably because he was more comfortable with Dwayne Haskins as his quarterback. And that is a good sign because if he comes in, he's going to have great chemistry with Haskins. The thing is, he could honestly be anywhere from a second. I mean, you never know because it's still January. It's late January right now. But I'm thinking he's going to be a late second to late third round pick. You never know, like I said. Could end up crawling up to the top of the second or could crawl down maybe beginning of the fourth. But I would love this pick. I think we can definitely get him in the beginning of the third round. It's just if we want to reach and get someone like that when we have other positions at need. It really all depends on free agency, like I said in the last few videos. And by the way, guys, if you guys want me to do a specific position, just comment down below in the comment section like what position for free agency and draft that we should target. But if we get someone like Austin Hooper and maybe like Jack Conklin or something, then that and Trent Williams comes back or something along those lines, and that eliminates tackle for us. We don't need to get a tackle, or we don't need to get a tight end in the first few rounds. So then that gets us some more options, but we'll see. I don't know if we're going to be able to get him in the third, but you never know. And the other guy, like Van Jefferson from Florida, played pretty good last year. And both these players played really well in the Senior Bowl. So they've got some hype to their name right now. But that's probably going to cool down once the combine comes and their measurables are probably a little not so good. And the measurables don't really matter. But so yeah, thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please smash the like button. And tell me what you guys think about my picks and what position you guys want me to do next. Peace.